Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. It is Friday, September 16th today. Getting my video on time, which is always amazing. I hope you're all doing well. As usual, you are all awesome. I hope you got to your comic store this week, picked up your books. There were some good books out this week. Nothing major, but some good stuff. I'll touch on a few of the books I picked up this week, and then I'll get into my top picks, my usual rambling on for 15 minutes or so. But yeah, I ran into my store on Wednesday. I ran in, but I got there. Picked up my Daredevil. And as I mentioned in my last video, I hope you're paying attention to Daredevil because I'm thinking of these next few issues you're going to get some good stuff. I know Daredevil does his outfit changes, which you can see on the cover of issue 5, but I don't know if that's because I mentioned in my last one that the cover of that is very reminiscent of 25 from where Elektra became kind of the female Daredevil. So I don't know if they're just trying to change up the look so they're not, you don't get confused between who is who in the panels. I don't know, but anyways, pay attention to it because it's really good. Got my Midnight Suns. I only grabbed cover A. I didn't get that game variant with the kind of those cool black uniforms. I forget what the hell they're called, but anyways, I didn't get those. My shop didn't have those, or none left when I got there anyways, and I forgot to ask them for it. Picked up my Edge of Spider-Verse. I got cover A only for that, and man, pay attention to these Edge of Spider-Verse books. I've said it before in the past, and I'll keep reiterating it. Anytime these Spider-Verse books come out, these series come out, they're usually only 5 or 6 issues. Pick them all up because at some point one of those books is going to be a key book down the road because somebody's going to show up in one of the shows, or it's going to be a low print run and everybody's going to go bonkers for it, like issue number 6 in the last one. But anyways, yeah, make sure you pick these Edge of Spider-Verse books up. There's only a couple more weeks coming. I also grabbed my second print of issue 1 because that has your first cover appearance of Spider-Laird, so got a couple of those. And then I also got my Bow and Orchard 10,000 Black Arrows. Got cover A, and then I also got this one. I showed this in my video, this cover here. I read it. It's pretty good. It's very reminiscent of Gideon Falls, same type of dark storyline. I enjoyed that one. That was good. I hope you read it. It looks like it's going to be a good series. I'm really looking forward to see where that goes. So it's got some dark stuff that showed up at the end there. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't read it. And while I'm on Spider-Verse, I talked about this one before. Issue 4 is out this week, and I'll cover that in a second. But remember, I showed this Edge of Spider-Verse number... which one is this one again? Shit, I'm having a brain fart. Oh yeah, this is the the Bengal connecting cover. I'm trying to remember what issue 1. Anyways, the Bengal cover, it has Spinstress on the cover, so technically that's her first appearance right there is on the cover. And I mentioned before, you also got Spider Hunter up there, so good one to have if you don't have it. So anyways, we'll get into what I'm looking at this week. And I'm going to start with my indies because we got some good stuff from them. From Boom, we got Stuff of Nightmares number 1. It's a 4-part miniseries. R.L. Stine is the author of this one. And if you don't know who that is, he's the author behind Goosebumps, all those novels, and they had TV shows on it and everything else, as well as Fear Street, a whole bunch of other. He sold literally hundreds of millions of copies of books over the years. And this is his first adult-oriented storyline, so I am definitely getting this one. Looks like a good one. There's a ton of covers for this, so you get whatever you want. But the one for me, I'm going to show it on the screen. It's a Kyle Hotz cover. It's got a red background with a bunch of zombies and stuff on it. It looks really good. That's the one I'm getting. I already talked to my shop about that, and he's got one coming in, so I'm getting that for sure. Looks really, really good. This is the time of year, of course. We're getting close to Halloween, so you're going to get any of your horror books are going to be coming out in the next month or so. That one looks good. Like I say, it's a 4-part series, so I'm picking that up for sure. Especially since R.L. Stine, he's a pretty well-known author. Like I say, he's written hundreds of millions of books. So who knows what's going to happen with that. I'm getting that. One series I haven't been getting, this one is just kind of just to let you know, is Wind Thrown in the Sky. Number 1, the second print is out this week. It's a really nice Michael Dialinus cover. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I actually thought it was Greg Capullo when I first looked at it. His artwork's kind of reminiscent of Capullo. It's really good. I like that cover, actually. I might pick it up if I see it. That's it from Boom. From Dark Horse, got Star Wars Hyperspace Stories #2 is out this week. 2 covers for that, A and B. You know, whatever. Pick whatever you want, if you want it at all. I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans, so pay attention to those if you got. It's only, if I remember right, that's a 12-part series, so that's it from Dark Horse. Okay, everyone, I forgot to talk about Frank Miller Presents Ashcan #1. Second print is also out this week. When I was doing my, I just noticed when I was doing my editing that I forgot to talk about it. Sitting there looking at the image on the screen, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to talk about that book. Anyways, that's out this week. I mentioned this previously. I also posted about this on Instagram. Be a good one to get. The funny thing is, this will be a higher print run than the first print. Just because I think most shops only got 2 copies, and this one I think they could order as many as they wanted, so probably be a higher print run on this one, but still worth getting. Basically the same cover as the first print, except the images, what was on top and bottom, have been flipped, so what was on the bottom is now on the top and vice versa. But definitely worth getting. Like I say, I'm getting a couple copies. Love Frank Miller's stuff, and going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how it seems like so many creators now are starting their own imprint and starting their own company. Going to see how that pans out over the next few years. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but seems to be the way of the future. Anyways, good one to get this week. So back to my video. Of course, from Image. This one I'm really looking forward to is Creepshow #1. As you can tell, I kind of like my horror stories and everything else. And this one is very reminiscent of the Creepshow comic that came out in 1982, which was basically a movie adaptation. Like the movie there was a Creepshow movie that came out in 82. And that was written by Stephen King, and then George R. Romero was the director of that one. The cool thing with the book, I'm going to touch on the 1982 one for now. If you ever find this somewhere, buy it, because it's if you look it up, it's a pricey book. Cool thing is Bernie Wrightson did a lot of the interior art in this, and if you know, man, Bernie, one of my favorite artists of all time. Bernie Wrightson, Frank Frazetta, those guys were so damn good. Basically, it's one of those ones you find it, buy it. But anyways, this this Creepshow #1 this week is coming out, and it's a 5-part. It's the first issue of 5, so definitely picking that. I love those old. It's you know, the old EC comics had their Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror and Haunt of Fear and all those things. And again, I know I'm talking about the. I'm kind of wandering all over here. But if you do find any of those old EC books, it's kind of a no-brainer. Just buy them. Doesn't matter what grade they're in. They're very, very collectible. So I think you probably all know that already. But if you don't, yeah, pick them up. But this one looks pretty good, so highly recommend this Creepshow. I'm going to try and get the whole series all the way through. And I'm trying to get cover A, because our cover A has got that kind of retro look to it. It looks really cool. Ice Cream Man 32 is out this week. There's 3 covers for this one. I don't really like A or B. They're not the greatest covers. But cover C is a pretty nice cover. I like that one. It's got kind of the spider coming out of his hat. Looks really cool. So I'm going to get that one. Vanish #1. Ah, this is one, boy. This is going to be a huge print run. There is a boatload of covers, and I quite honestly think I'm passing on this. I've loved a lot of Donny Cates stuff in the past. I've got his whole God Country run with multiple copies of, second printings, all that kind of stuff. I've got some of the exclusive covers. That was a great series. I've got his whole Thanos Wins run. I've got his Silver Surfer Black, his Venom, everything. But lately, I just, I don't know. Haven't been impressed. I'm not impressed. I dropped his Hulk series a long time ago. Not buying it, and I don't think I'm buying this one either. So, anyways, there you go. But it's out. If you're interested, it's out. Don't let me dissuade you. It's just my opinion. From DC, Action Comics #1 is out. The facsimile. Highly, highly recommend this. I've recommended all these facsimiles for the most part. Not every one of them, but any of the real big ones, like Detective Comics 27 was the last one that was out. This one's out this week. Amazing Spider-Man #1 is coming out in a few weeks. But try to pick these up, because, as I said a few times, this is as close as I'm getting to the... Unless I find one, hidden somewhere, I'll never own one, because there's no way I can afford over $3 million for a comic book. But So that one's out this week. There's also a couple free Batman Day comics out this week. Hush #1 special and Batman's Mystery Case book. If you're interested in those are out. You can ask your shop about those. I'm not sure if every shop's getting them, but sometimes they have to order so many copies of a certain book to get them, but who knows. I'm not really, I got enough of those books to begin with. So for Marvel, as I mentioned earlier, Edge of Spider-Verse #4 is out. It's going to have your first full appearance of Sun Spider. You're also going to have your first, well, technically your first in-comic appearance of Spinstress, even though this Bengal cover had the first cover appearance. So again, you just don't know where these characters are going to show up. So I highly recommend you pick them up. And like I say, if you buy them for cover prices, it's the way to do it. Buy it for cover, stick it in a box, and hope down the road something happens with it. If not, you got a great book anyways. Star Wars Darth Vader 27. I'm not picking this one up, but if you're a Darth Bane fan, you're probably going to want to get this one because he's on the cover of one of those Choose Your Destiny covers. It's pretty nice. I like that character. I just I don't know. I don't think I'm buying that one. Another one I am getting though was X-Men Legends #2. I got #1. I can't remember when that came out. I'll go 3 weeks, a month ago, whenever it was. Roy Thomas is doing the story for issues 1 and 2, and he's one of the original creators of Wolverine and writers and all that stuff. So, and as you know, this is kind of what happens between his initial appearance in Hulk and then giant size X-Men. So it's kind of falls right in there, gives a little more backstory. Not a whole lot happened in issue 1, but I like the covers. It's kind of those retro 90s covers, which I really like, so I'm picking that up for sure. So that's it for my books this week. My picks are Stuff of Nightmares #1. Again, like I say, that's R.L. Stine, who's behind Goosebumps and all those other books, so worth picking that up for sure. Creepshow #1. Love that cover, and I really like the style of where you get a bunch of short stories in a book. And the cool thing is too with this Creepshow, I forgot to mention, each issue is going to have different writers and artists and everything. So I'm buying that all the way through. Action Comics #1 Facsimile. I can't recommend that one enough. Just pick it up. And Edge of Spider-Verse #4. Buy these all the way through. Don't stop. Don't miss any issues. At least I recommend that anyways. Just depends what you can afford. Like this one, you got Sun Spider and Spinstress, even though she showed up on the cover there. So, all right, folks, a little shorter video this week. I don't have any major stuff to talk about. Other than I just want to touch, I got Miles Morales in the background because it's been announced that a new creative team will be taking over and relaunching Miles again. So pick it up because these, Miles is a big character. I've said it a million times. Buy his stuff. They're going back to his normal uniform instead of the stupid hoodie thing, which I don't think a lot of people were fans of, but I like that they're going back to kind of his black and red outfit. I think it looks really good, and looking forward to that. And anytime you get new writers and artists and everything, pretty much guaranteed at some point you're going to be getting some new characters showing up. So pick up that new series when it drops because it'll be worth getting. As always, #1 will have a ton of covers, and then it'll drop off. And well, #1 will have a ton of covers, plus the print run will be really big on #1, and then it'll drop off substantially for #2 going forward. So stick with it because it won't be probably till 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere there that you really get your big new characters. At least that's a lot of times how it goes. So anyways, there you go, folks. Happy hunting. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.